Hi guys, it's May 21st. We're still talking about determination this month. We have walked through the book of Acts where Peter and John were at the gate beautiful and healed a man and then got put in jail and continued to tell people to the point that 5,000 people believed in Jesus for life. And then last week we did the centurion and Peter, and his name was Cornelius, and Peter realized that even the Gentiles needed to know about Jesus. And I love Peter in that way. He just seems so innocent so many times. And today we're going to continue our story continue talking about determination by jumping into the book of Ephesians. Here Paul is encouraging the church in Ephesus because they are being beat up, if you will, by all sides. They just feel like they are everybody is attacking them. And I know I personally have felt like that at times, and so I can really relate to this group of church members and how they are feeling. But what we get to encourage kids with is the tools that God gives believers so that they can stand against those times where they feel persecuted or they feel attacked from all areas. And he tells them in Ephesians 6, verse 10, it says, "Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the full armor of God so that you will be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the full armor of God, so that you will be able to resist in the evil day, and having done everything to stand firm. Stand firm, therefore, having girded your loins with truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. In addition to all, taking up the shield of faith with which you will be able to extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one." Guys, this is telling us that God did not leave us alone. He didn't send us into the war without the tools that we need. We have the breastplate of righteousness. We have the shield of faith. We have the sword of the Spirit. We have the shoes of the good news. We have the helmet of salvation. All of these are things to remind us that God is there taking care of us. He has prepared us. He is protecting us. And I am excited that in your small group today, you're going to get the chance to really dig a little deeper in with your kids. And I know, talking to several of you recently, that the kids are really asking really good questions, and they really want to know what it is we're talking about. So I am excited that you're going to probably have some great conversations this week. In your small group time, your first activity is a time where kids can make their own sword. And I know your boys, especially your third grade boys, are going to be so excited to create their own sword. And they've been thinking about and dreaming about this forever. Give the girls encouragement that they can create a girly sword too, and it will be all right. And on their sword, after they've drawn their sword out on their piece of paper, you're going to look at some different scriptures with them and see if they can find ways that these scriptures would encourage them. Maybe when there's a time when they're frustrated because they can't finish their math homework, or they have STAR testing this week or had STAR testing the week before, and they just felt so devastated because it didn't go well. And so see if you can help them find scriptures that help build them and that they can cling to. And there'll be different scriptures like this verse in Ephesians And then you have 2nd Chronicles and Joshua and Isaiah and Mark and Philippians. And if you know others that are encouraging to you and ways that you use those, please, 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 please share that with your kids. They need to know that you're a human and that you need to know all this stuff too. Your memory verse activity this month has been a little confusing possibly, so I just encourage you, you don't have to do the whole maze thing. That's a way that the curriculum tries to get us to really focus on helping kids figure out how to get from point A to point B. And I love that about it. But if that doesn't work for your small group, then it's going to be okay. We want the kids ultimately to know this memory verse, because I think this is a memory verse that could go in their arsenal for the sword of the Spirit, where they can use those words to help them stand in a tough time. And the memory verse this month is, let us not become tired of doing good. At the right time, we will gather a crop if we don't give up. Galatians 6:9. That means that God has prepared everything ahead of us, and we can trust in Him and know that He is taking care of the details. And so just spend time with the kids, making sure that they know that. In your prayer time, you'll pull your swords out, and whatever kids have written on their swords, you'll pray for them in those ways. And that wraps up our month on determination. Next week we will take a week off and join Pastor Mike in a family worship service, all of the kids and their parents, and he's teaching on sticky faith. And so I really encourage you, if you are in town Memorial Day weekend, that you show up and do family worship service with us. It will be a great way to encourage your kids and for you to be encouraged that you are doing good things. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.